honest, he wouldn't be the GOAT.
If it was up to my wife, she would have me retire today. She told me that last night 3 times. Okay. And I said, too bad, babe. You know, I'm having too much fun right now. And, you know, I feel like I can still do it. And, you know, if you love what you do and you're capable of doing it, then I'd be so bored if I wasn't going out there knowing that I could still do it. So I'm going to work hard to, you know, be ready to go. And, you know, I still plan on playing for a long time.
Can't blame Giselle. I'd want my husband home, too. Jeff Saturday in the house. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
How you doing?
Fantastic.
All right, let's get into it. So Brady's going to keep playing, Max.
Yeah.
If you were giving him an extension, how many years would you have?
I'd give him a huge bonus, right? I mean, you got to pay him out of respect. I'd give him 2 years because he's 40 years old. And as I keep saying, no quarterback in the history of football has been great at 41 because him falling down, first of all, because you need to spread the signing bonus over more than just one season, right? You might even consider 3 if you can decline, you know, if the salaries are, the cap hit isn't as bad in the 3rd year. And he can still be functional at the age of 41 or something like that. But look at recent history of Brady-level athletes, and beyond in some cases. Kobe Bryant. Now, he was coming off an injury. The Lakers gave him an extension. The only benefit was you kept some fans happy and you picked really high in the draft in consecutive years. Derek Jeter, even before his injury. And Derek Jeter's a pretty good comp with Tom Brady. Derek Jeter was still hitting 300 and doing all the things Jeter did, at least on the surface level in terms of his offense. And the Yankees played hardball with him because they realized he's at the age where no shortstop has ever been good past that age. And they played hardball. It got acrimonious, you know, in the media. And the Yankees were smart because in Jeter's last year, he wasn't good. And part of the reason they didn't make the playoffs was Jeter wasn't good. Part of the reason the Lakers stunk is because Kobe wasn't good. Peyton Manning, yes, he was hurt. But he came back and threw 55 touchdowns, breaking Tom Brady's record for touchdowns in a season. And everyone in the world was saying, this man can play till he's 45 years old. And in the middle of the next season, where he was even better than the previous season, all of a sudden he's hurt, he goes down. So the idea is, well, Brady hasn't been hurt, blah, blah. Does he play a full contact sport? Oh, he does, where you can get hurt on any play. And will he be playing past an age where no one's ever been good? Yeah? Okay. 2 years, you pay him out of respect, maybe 3 if you can work the cap hit the right way, and that's it.
Well, see, the thing about it is what makes your argument full of it is that there's no retort to it. See, this is a master taking both sides. Here's the deal.
He did work it.
Brady's going to fall off a cliff, right, within a year.
Yeah.
But then he comes back here and he says, well, 2 years. And maybe 3 if he gets spread out. So what am I supposed to argue about that, Jeff? Because I'm getting ready to say 3. You see what I'm saying? I can't now, right? Because,
okay, let me clarify. You pay him for 1.
I can't
You pay him for 1. The other 2 years are just to spread the cap hit out.
So you really think he deserves 1? Let's say then he really thinks he deserves 1 year for purposes of the argument.
I'm sorry, Mac. I have no argument.
Well,
he got me. Because here's
it's being reported 3 to 5.
Allow me to finish. I heard you. I sat here quietly and let you make your point. Allow me to make mine. Jeff Saturday, I'm sitting up here and I'm going like this. You know something? I can't wait this guy to open his mouth because he's been saying Brady's going to fall off.
Yes, I've heard it.
It's over, right?
I've heard
so then I'm sitting there like this. You got the 1 year, but then it could be 2, or then you can spread it to 3. You spread it out. So it's really 1 year that you spread out for 3. My point to you is this. What am I supposed to say? Because guess what?
Whatever you want to.
Brady, the man is, what is it? The Super Bowl champion? Super Bowl MVP, 466 yards just 2 days ago. You mean that dude that averaged about 269 yards of passing this year, that completed 67% of his passes this year, as far as I'm concerned, a minimum of 2 years guarantee. 3 years would suffice, because even if Brady fell a little bit, there's such a discrepancy between him and 98% of the league that even falling off, he's still better than 28 other quarterbacks in the NFL.
No.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Oh, my God.
By the way, he was a little better than Matt Ryan, especially when it counted. That's not like a huge discrepancy. He ain't as good as Aaron Rodgers.
98% of the league. If you give me, you're going to sit there and say Aaron Rodgers. Outside of Aaron Rodgers. I mean, we could put Drew Brees, Matt Ryan in the argument.
There's 4 or 5.
Wait. After that, there's 27 other teams. Who
Well, do you think that you can't win a Super Bowl with Ben Roethlisberger? Because that's obviously not true. Or Eli Manning or Matthew Stafford, maybe
really?
Or Andrew Luck. There are a lot of great quarterbacks.
Really? Oh, Andrew Luck, your league MVP. That dude? That same dude? That same dude that I told you wasn't going to make the playoffs. That dude.
By the way, was
Look,
Peyton Manning, had he fallen off the cliff when he won the Super Bowl, yes or no?
But here's the difference in the situation that you're talking about with Peyton Manning. It was a change of offense, right? Which did not suit Peyton Manning's skill set. Really wouldn't have fit it year 10 and past, right? I mean, if you want to really be honest with what they were asking him to do. I know they try to talk about the pistol, they move stuff around, but Tom Brady has played in the same system since he's been in the NFL. That system is not going to change with Bill Belichick being there. It doesn't matter if McDaniels goes somewhere else, doesn't matter who else comes in the staff. They know what they're going to run. They know what benefits him as a quarterback. So if you're talking about Tom Brady, I would definitely do a 3-year deal with him right now. And here's why. Because Bill Belichick doesn't expect him to win every game for him. You know, the Super Bowl, 60-plus passes, they set it on his shoulders. How deep were most of his balls? Early in the first half, not good, poor completion percentage. They're challenging him, make him throw it. Second half, just like they played Seattle 2 years before.
Amazing performance in the second half.
Checking it down, 6-yard passes, let James White go do what he's going to do, put the ball over the middle. Edelman dropped one that would have been a big gain. Hogan drops one, would have been a big gain. So there's a lot of things. They understand how to coach around his deficiencies, even if they get
So you
bigger.
agree that on the vertical passes, it seemed to me, especially in the first half, when he was bad, it's when he had to put some mustard on.
You're challenging those throws. They're contested throws and they're deep throws. So what two things happen with that? The pass rush gets there because you're giving them time. So now you're taking shots and the clock in your head speeds up. So it's not just one guy, but also it's much more difficult for the receiver to make that grab. Again, contested catches. The ball has to be on the dime. The route has to be perfect. The setup has to. So it's just a much more difficult procedure all the way around. But if you take them down to the second half, this is where Tom Brady separates himself. He lets his playmakers do what they do. The thing that you can never take away from Brady and why you wouldn't want to shorten his career, he makes everyone around him better. He understands where they need to be, why they need to be there, the timing of being there. And he drives those guys, and they all know he's going to do his part to get that ball set there. They bring back Dante Scarnecchia, the offensive line coach. They improved in that area. Everybody talks about the sacks. 2 of those sacks the other night were coverage sacks, all right? One was a play action where the defensive tackle really got blown by. Jarrett comes up in a gap, and it's just one of those freak things. Everybody's talking about all the line struggle. They were more coverage than anything. But when you shrank that down, Tom Brady could do that for another 3 years.
And by the way, he was great in the second. He was almost perfect in the second. And yet still try to give him the ball 3 times in the red zone.
I don't want to hear you agreeing with Jeff Saturday. Stop. I don't want to hear you agreeing with him. You heard what he just said. You still think Tom Brady is done in a year?
Yes.
No chance.
Really? Oh,
yes.
Please.
I like 3 years.
I would like to make a gentleman's wager.
But by the way, but we have to agree on terms. Do we agree that Peyton Manning fell off? Do we agree that Peyton Manning fell off the cliff in his last season?
You know what?
How
No.
could you call him off the cliff?
No.
He threw 9 touchdowns and 17 interceptions.
I would say this. The year before, when he got hurt in the latter part of the season, you saw with the knee, the hip,
but
all of that.
part of it.
But here's the deal. Had he played in the system like Brady's playing in, where it's going to stay in the gun, you're not asking a ton of him athletically. Not a ton is being asked. It's the type of system you put them in. Brady doesn't have to relearn anything, right? Manning's arm, obviously, everything began to struggle. You saw it happen. But Brady, because of the system that will stay around him, those things won't be seen.
I need you to stop because you're letting him off the hook. You're letting him off the hook, and I got to stop you because you're breaking it down. What this man is saying, I want you on the record.
Yes.
Don't bring me no injuries. We understand. No. Hold on. You can't project.
Why no one has played past 41
No. Don't let me get footage on you. You said even if there are no injuries, by virtue of the fact that he's turning 40, he's done in a year.
Before 41, right.
You said he's done. You didn't say injuries.
But wait,
you didn't say injuries.
No, you got it backwards.
No.
Yes, even without injuries, he's in trouble because they fall off the cliff.
That's all I'm asking.
That doesn't exclude the possibility of injuries. Injuries may be the reason.
But you're saying if he stayed completely healthy, he would still be bad next year?
That's right.
No. Until the end of that, he might be really good till he's 41 years old. And after that, he won't.
No. You, listen, I got him. Don't let him off the hook. You're on the record.
Sure.
You said.
I'm being completely consistent.
You said even if he doesn't get hurt by virtue of the fact that he's turning 40, he's done in a year. I'm saying don't bring up injury. We concede the injury.
We concede the injury. I'm glad we're on the same page about that.
We concede the injury.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
If he turns 40, he's done.
I'm glad we're on the same page about that. Do you agree that when Peyton Manning had won the Super Bowl, meaning he was still a starting quarterback for most of the season in the NFL, he had already fallen off the cliff, whether it was due to injury or something else? He was no longer Peyton Manning.
But he had the 4 back surgeries before then.
You're not.
Before then.
I know you're answering the question you want to answer, but answer my question.
I've been answering the question.
I think he fell off a cliff.
Peyton didn't fall off a cliff?
No.
It was a slow bleed as you watched from the year before.
It wasn't a cliff. It wasn't your definition of a cliff. It wasn't great to terrible. It was not, Max.
Molly, he 55 touchdowns, on pace to do the same thing, 39, gets hurt, falls off the cliff, 7 whatever it was, more interceptions than touchdowns, and not a lot of touchdowns the following year. How do you go from 39 touchdowns, would have led the league if not for Luck's 40, and Luck, I think, rushed in a few.
Won a Super Bowl. I don't care what kind of defense he has.
Right, okay, but that's a separate issue. You're saying if you win a Super Bowl, you can't say you fell off a cliff. And I'm saying, yes, you can. That was no longer Peyton Manning, but with his guile on a great defensive team, he was able to win a Super Bowl. It means you can still play in the league.
All I'm saying to Jeff, I'll say it to Damian Woody, I'll say it to Ryan Clark, anybody that comes on this show, we're shoving injury aside. Anybody who gets injured, you could ultimately fall off.
25,
what
45.
this man said,
Guys are missing the point.
no, we're not missing it. We copying exactly what the hell you're saying. Max Kellerman said, if Tom Brady wants, because he's turning 40, he's going to fall off a cliff.
And wait a minute. And there's a possibility he may not be healthy. In other words, if he gets hurt.
No.
Wait.
I give up.
That is the point. You're playing a full contact sport. If Brady gets hurt and falls off a cliff, I don't want to hear, well, he got hurt.
Vince Carter's 40 years old, right? He's playing in the NBA. You think that's more demanding physically than playing football for 16 weeks? 80-plus games he's playing.
Football's more demanding.
Okay, in my opinion, on the stress on what the injuries you're talking about, I would say basketball is more stressing
in terms of joints and stuff.
Right, like Tom Brady, for 6 of the 7 days, he's going to be protected. He's not taking any shots. He's not getting beat up. He's not doing those things. Vince Carter is still producing athletically. I think Tom Brady still producing athletically. Look at his run.
Producing
athletically.
You can produce athletically and no longer be the same. Wait, can I respond?
You just argued with him about who's much more physical. Like he wouldn't know.
Can I respond or no? You're arguing that since Vince Carter's still in the league, he's still Vince Carter. He has evolved into a different kind of player. Peyton Manning was still able to win a Super Bowl as a cerebral quarterback with a great defense, but he was no longer Peyton Manning.
Tom Brady's thrown 50 interceptions some season, and he's thrown 35 in others. They will morph into whatever they need to morph into offensively. So what I'm saying is he's still productive, he's still producing, he's still winning. That is the key to what you want. It's not about can he go throw 75 touchdowns. Who cares?
Let's wrap it up.
If you change the definition to being able to win on the Patriots, then you can deny the cliff. In other words, you can deny he's changed into a different player.